Okay, so in this video, what I will be showing you is the step by step about how you can relocate to Canada through study. Okay, how you can relocate through study and eventually become a permanent a permanent resident. Okay, so these steps will be in nine steps. Nine steps. Nine steps. Without further ado, let's get started. So the first step that you should be looking at is you have to look for a school in Canada. You have to look for a school in Canada. Okay. So here you will research Canadian universities and programs that align with your interest, your career goal, your previous education, and all of that. So you have to check that out. You have to check that out and make sure that the school that you will be choosing is a DLI, designated learning institute. Designated learning institute. Okay, so what is designated learning institute? These are schools that are approved, that are accredited by Canadian immigration to host international students. So make sure that the school that you'll be choosing fall in this category so that you won't make a very costly mistake. Okay, so in step one, you are just researching school, checking school, which province they are, which province the school is, so that for you to know better about the school that you'll be attending. So now, step two now, once you have identified, or once you have chosen the school that you will be attending, the next step is to apply for admission. So you apply for admission, okay? Depending on which certificate you are holding currently. Let's say you have BSc, that means you can go for Masters, you can go for PGD, you can go for PGC. You have OND, you can go for advanced diploma, yeah. Okay, if you have HND, sorry, okay, if you have HND, you go for PGD as well, or PGC, okay? So if you have NC, you go for advanced diploma as well, okay? So you apply for admission and make sure that you meet all the application requirements, okay, when you are applying for admission, because I see a lot of people struggling to get admission, okay? So one of the mistakes that they normally make is a situation whereby they didn't read the admission requirement very well. If part of the admission requirement is you should have 2-2 or you should have 2-1, make sure that you have that 2-1. If the admission requirement requires you to have a research background, you should have it. Okay, so make sure you read admission requirement before you apply. Okay, so now if you apply for admission and fortunately for you, you were given admission, you were admitted, then you move to step 3. Okay, if you are unable to get admission, that means you reapply for admission again, step 2. But if you are able to gain admission, then you move to step 3. And what is happening in step 3? You are applying for study visa. You apply for study visa in order to obtain a study permit, okay? After you have received your acceptance letter from the Canadian institution that gave you admission, you apply for study permit through the Canadian immigration website, IRCC, okay? You will need to provide proof of acceptance, which is from the school. This is where you show proof of funds, just to showcase that you have the financial capability to take care of yourself when you get to Canada, okay? Another required document, okay? I think I have a video where I break down this document, other documents, I think 15 documents that you need to apply for study visa. I will drop the link to this that video in the presentation. Okay, so in the description of this video below, okay, I will drop the link there. So if your visa is approved in step 3, if your visa is approved, then you move to step 4, okay, or else you keep on applying. Maybe you are denied or you have not applied for study visa, so you have to reapply again and again. Okay, so if your study visa is approved, then you move to step 4, which is you arrive in Canada. You gather your baggage, your luggage, you say bye bye to mommy and daddy, bye bye to your husband, bye bye to your, you know, you arrive in Canada. Okay, before I explain better on this step 4, I want to point this out. This is step 3. In case you want to relocate with your family, maybe you want to relocate with your spouse or with your kids and all of that, it is at this stage that you will include them in your study visa application. Okay, take note of that. I hear people say, I want to relocate with my family. How can I relocate with my family? So after you have gotten the admission and you are applying for study visa, it is at this study visa application stage that you will include, that you will signify that you are relocating with your family. Okay, so let's continue on step 4. So you arrive in Canada. Once your study visa is approved, you make arrangement to travel to Canada before starting your program. So now at the point of entry in Canada, usually at the airport, that is where you will be issued your study permit. Okay, so that means at step 4, you are already in Canada. You are now in Canada. So let's move to step 5. Step 5 is very simple. You begin to study in Canada, right? You begin your studies at the Canadian institution where you secure admissions and all of that. Okay, so make sure you stay compliant with the terms and conditions of the study permit. Okay, if they ask you to work so number of hours off campus or on campus, make sure you stick to that. Okay, so now step 6. Step 6 is you are able to gain work experience. Okay, this is optional for those that want to work. Usually this work used to be part-time. You work part-time as a student during your studies. Okay, you can be working off campus, you can be working on campus, depending on which accommodation you were able to secure. By the way, working part-time while studying, I think this creates this kind of a rapport between you and the employer, so that it will serve as an opportunity for you after you have studied. Okay, you have bond, you have established a rapport, you have established rapport with your employer. So I think this will make getting a job after study easier. Okay, I think that's one of the advantages of working part-time during study. Okay, also another advantage of working part-time while studying is it provide this financial support. Okay, financial support, maybe money for transport, money for feeding and all of that. You'll be able to have all of that while working part-time as a student. Okay, so if you are enjoying this video, if you have gained 1 or 2 things so far and you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe right now. Like this video, comment in the section, ask your questions there. If you have any question, ask your question in the comment section. I will respond to it as soon as I see it. So you don't want to miss out on updates like this. As far as Canada relocation is concerned, subscribe to this channel now. Okay, so now we move to step 7. So now all what you are doing in step 7 is after you have completed your program, you apply for postgraduate work permit. Okay, this will allow you to work in Canada temporarily. Okay, and the length of the postgraduate work permit depends on the duration of your program. Okay, duration of your program. Okay, the length of your program determines how many years of postgraduate work permit you will be given. Okay. So now, after you have applied for postgraduate work permit and you are able to gather that, then you move to step 8, okay, which is to gather Canadian work experience. So you are able to secure your postgraduate work permit, then you secure a job in Canada in order to gather Canadian work experience. So now, this your Canadian work experience will enhance your opportunity, will enhance your chances of qualifying for permanent residency, okay? Which take us to step 9. So now, once you are able to gather work experience, then you will have to explore various permanent residency options. Okay, you research the one that is best for you. Usually people normally leverage express entry and provincial nominating program, PMP, okay, and other immigration streams. So you explore all of that. If you meet the criteria, if you see that you meet any of the permanent residency option, if you meet any of the eligibility requirements, you apply for permanent residency through that. And finally, you will become a permanent resident in Canada. You will become a permanent resident in Canada. So those are the 9 steps on how to relocate to Canada through study. So if you need guidance on how to secure admission, how to process your visa, how to put your visa application together, how to relocate with your family and all of that. If you need guidance on how to do that, I will drop a link in the description of this video to a self-guide that you can lay your hands on and make use of it to process your application by yourself. Okay, we call that package JAPA system. Okay, so I will drop a link to that package in the description of this video below so that you can begin your processing immediately. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe right now. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for seeing this time. Bye.